This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Oh, it's Monday on the After Party Live. Thank you for your patience. I know it took me a couple minutes to get over here. It was a big after show meeting. We had to go through everything. So there's a lot going on this week with the presidential debate and guests coming up that we don't usually have on certain days for the Mark Thompson show. So I think we got it all squared away. Huge thank you for the super sticker, Wes, coming through again, jumping in off the bat. Before I even made my way here, Wes was here throwing in a $5 super sticker. I thought I saw it. There it is. Yay. Look at that coming through. So thank you so much, Wes, for that. And hi to you. Is that a live long and prosper? Right back at you, my friend. Excellent. I don't think that, did I miss some trolls on the Mark Thompson show today? I'm sorry if I let you guys down on that. I apologize. Yes, we do. We have the little post-show meeting. I didn't. I'm still in the chair. I've never left the chair. But I do have my Coachella Valley Coffee iced tea, vanilla iced tea. And I'm not even blowing sunshine, you guys, when I tell you this stuff is so, so good. Mango. I've been having the mango iced tea recently as well. Not a sponsor of this show. I'm honestly telling you, wow, is it ever good? And I think I'm spending less than I was getting an iced tea on the way to pick up the kids from school. So bonus and win. Okay, let's jump into these stories because now, yes, be aware, hit the like buttons, whatever color thumb you have, hit the like button and subscribe as well. Ooh, let me see where we are. Over the weekend, we were one shy of 2,300. So let me see where we are at this moment in time. Yep, 2,299. One more subscriber will get 2,300. So I'm waiting for that. That'll be exciting. These little milestones in this little show mean a lot. Okay, so let's go. Oh, I didn't see that, Gordon, and I'm so sorry. I usually take that down. I'll watch for it tomorrow, and if I see it, then I'll take it down. I've discovered that I can not only delete a comment, and in addition to banning a user or putting a user in timeout, and for some of those that are maybe all caps or that just say something a little offensive, but maybe haven't warranted being taken away completely yet, I'll just delete the comment so that no one has to, scroll past it. So, but thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. All right, let's jump into some of these stories. I have found some good ones, rallied some good stories for today. And one of them is about life expectancy. And there's a new study out that does it or looks at life expectancy state by state by state. The focus, and this I found on KTLA from Southern California, the focus was on California. So the headline is really that California has dropped in life expectancy ranking to now 10th in the nation. But they have the list of which states are better, which states are not for life expectancy. But we know that California used to be the second best for life expectancy, and now we've dropped down to number 10. So the babies born in California in 2021 can expect to live to 78.3 years. And that's down from 79 years in 2020 and 80.9 years in 2019. It's a national trend. It's not just California, the drop in life expectancy. And it's probably because of COVID. The average is down because more people died during COVID. So here's what it looks like. These are the 10 states, in terms of life expectancy, the 10 best, all right? Hawaii tops the list at 79.9 years. Massachusetts, 79.6. Connecticut, 79.2. New York, 79 flat. New Jersey, 79 flat. Minnesota, 78.8. New Hampshire, 78.5. Rhode Island, 78.5. Vermont, 78.4. And then rounding out with the 10th at California, 78.3. The lowest life expectancy in the country, Mississippi. The average is 70.9. So, the life expectancy dropped in California and in 38 states. It did increase in 11, and it remained constant in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it seems like COVID played a role in the data for this. So California dropping, not good news for us. I don't know. I tend to think, what do we have? 6 more months? You lived a long life. What's 6 months, give or take? In the case of former President Jimmy Carter, it's the difference as to whether you get to vote in this upcoming election or not. And his grandson said he's holding out so he can vote for Kamala Harris. I thought that was pretty interesting. Two animals now, where we have the story about a bear. I love these stories about a bear that hopped into the kiddie pool. A bear taking a little swim. Kind of cute. Here it is. Take a look. I might have to turn off the music. There he is. He's just cooling off. There's a little kiddie pool in the backyard. I think the backyard could use a little maintenance. But pretty funny. It's a hot day in this area. So, he's just kind of flying around there in the wading pool, rolling around. They're so cute until you see them face to face. This happened in Monrovia, California, where there's just a little backyard kiddie pool sitting out there and the bear decides to cool down. This man took this video from his backyard in Monrovia showing this bear in the kiddie pool during the recent heat wave. They say they call this bear Snaggle because she has a canine tooth that's kind of hanging out of the left side of the mouth. This bear is a frequent visitor to the area. The kiddie pool had been filled with water just in case she needed a drink. So isn't that kind of them to do that? Yeah, that's the best animal story I could find for today. All right. We'll move past it because we have this this next story about a Rembrandt being found in the attic of an estate in Maine. Incredible. Really incredible find. So this happened when someone called an auctioneer, to come look at what they had in the attic. It was a routine house call to this private estate in Camden, Maine. And this is where the auctioneer, Kaja Velliot, made this unexpected discovery in the attic. A 17th century painting of a young woman wearing a cap and a ruffled collar. She said, listen, on house calls, we go in blind. We don't even know what we're going to find sometimes. But this house was filled with wonderful pieces. In the attic, among stacks of art, they found this, what they call a remarkable portrait. It appeared to have been painted in the style of the Dutch master Rembrandt. The label on the frame's reverse claims that it was a Rembrandt, and there was a little slip of paper stuck in there that appears to have been issued by the Philadelphia Art Museum, or Museum of Art rather, which also suggests that the painting was loaned to the museum in 1970. Now, they don't know very much about this portrait, and it's not recognized widely by scholars as being part of Rembrandt's line of art. But the auction house, Thomaston Place Auction Galleries, told CNN they think this label is genuine. The Philadelphia Museum of Art is unable to confirm whether it had ever borrowed this portrait. They say generally a slip of paper or a label doesn't necessarily verify a work of art. So they think more work than that is needed in order to verify this. Thomaston Place wouldn't disclose whether it consulted a Rembrandt expert about the Rembrandt attribution or not, but they proceeded to list this painting with an estimate of $10,000 to $15,000. It's described in their brochure as an after Rembrandt, so that it could be a copy of or modeled on his style, not necessarily one of his works. But people caught on really quickly that this could have been something else. So after an opening offer of 32,500, which was more than double the high estimate, the bidding last Saturday jumped into the six figures. Almost a dozen potential suitors joined via phone from Europe participating in this sale. Three telephone bidders remained at 900,000 before the last two pushed the final sale price up to $1.41 million. The auction house believes this is the highest sum ever paid for an artwork at a Maine auction. And it suggests that a lot of people think this is really a Rembrandt. There's enough chance that it's a Rembrandt for this to actually be worth the gamble. One of the potential buyers sought out opinions on this. And here's what's interesting is there is a very similar portrait that is a Rembrandt. It also is a portrait of a young woman in a white cap, and it's showcased at the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna. And one of these art specialists said the resemblance is so strong that he said he's amazed people accept one and then dismiss this one. So he said he's not surprised someone paid more than $1 million when this one came up for auction. The other one, listed as portrait of a young girl, he says he thinks that this is true. He said the catalog may list it as an possible attribution to Rembrandt. He thinks that the painting was just never researched because it was in private hands. And so when paintings fall out of interest, they disappear into dark space, he said. But this looks like it's real. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? What a find in an attic, just tucked away with a bunch of other art in an attic and not showcased somewhere. How cool is that? Can we talk about blue babies? When my son was little, he couldn't say berries, he said babies. So he would ask for blue babies, ras babies, black babies, and the like. So now we call them blue babies. Blue babies are really good for us. Now we've known this, right? Antioxidants, full of good things. But new research shows eating blueberries will make you smarter and will significantly improve your memory. How easy is this? By eating just a handful of blue babies a day, you could be smarter and you could be healthier. This study has been published in the Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition. It found blueberries can improve your blood pressure, your endothelial function, which is this layer of cells that lines all of our blood vessels and then regulates exchanges between the bloodstream and the surrounding tissue. It can help arterial stiffness. There was a study published in 2021 in the journal Nutrients that found blueberries can improve glucose management and insulin levels. A study published in Antioxidants found blueberries can improve skin elasticity and reduce skin roughness. The same study found you can increase skin moisturization, smoothness, radiance by applying blueberry extract directly to your skin, even though you're going to smell like a blueberry. But this study, published in Nutrients, found participants who ate a half cup of blueberries a day for 12 weeks experienced improvements in learning, in memory, in executive function, in decision-making, planning, focus, task management. It's like they're these little magic blueberry squishy buttons. Why? Well, because they say blueberries are rich in antioxidants and other bioactive compounds, which are chemicals that promote good health. They're packed with something called anthocyanin, which is an antioxidant that improves metabolic function, increases cell-level energy production, and decreases inflammation. And if you're overweight, they say that's really important. Especially metabolic disturbance accelerating in middle age, it's a prominent factor for dementia. And those who are overweight or otherwise insulin resistant have an elevated risk for future dementia. So, got a few spare pounds on you? Might not help to pop a few blueberries every day. A half a cup improved the average participant language skills, improved their short-term memory, enhanced their decision-making, planning, organizational skills, and as an added bonus, the people who ate the half a cup of blueberries a day experienced lower fasting insulin levels, which means their ability to process carbohydrates efficiently had also improved. Now, they say, this sounds too good to be true. Blueberries aren't exactly magic, that genetics do play a role in all of this. But they say it seems to make a difference. If your diet sucks, if you don't exercise, if you smoke, if you drink, if you don't get enough sleep, and I mean, who gets enough sleep, right? That blueberries could help, even though, you know, it's not a magic fix, but it is a little bit of a fix. So one positive habit to your lifestyle, like eating half a cup of blueberries a day, could lead to us adding more positive things. If you do this one thing for yourself, then maybe you add another good thing for yourself, right? So we could start with the blueberries. That's easy. Organic blueberries, I would add. All right. Let's talk about the altar at Stonehenge. A little more information on this one. Interesting is that. There was the mystery of what this altar was used for. What was it? What's the mystery surrounding this? It's hundreds of kilometers further away from the monument than previously thought. A new study, though, is kind of complicating the mystery surrounding this by definitively ruling out the most likely location for the altar stone starting point. We don't know what it was built for, how the stones were shaped, but some of the most, I guess, the biggest questions say that the stones themselves are not native to the Wiltshire Plains where the monument stands. So the thinking is, how did they get there? And the theories are many on that. For a long time, the answer was thought to have been Wales, at least for the blue stones that began the construction. But new research kind of discounts that. Stonehenge's altar stone, which is this huge sandstone block right in the heart of the monument, buried into the ground so as to lay flat against the surrounding plain, didn't come from Wales, it came from Scotland. That's the result that researchers say they had a hard time believing at first, because the journey from northeast Scotland, where a study placed the altar stone's origin just a couple weeks ago, would have been impossible back in Neolithic times. How in the world would they bring a 6-ton lump of rock for this kind of trip? The researchers say when they found out it was Scottish, they thought, no way did people move this. That's just way too far. Completely unprecedented. So they tried to solve this mystery. And some believe that sandstone is abundant on the island of Orkney, and that there's a similar tradition of moving stones to create megalithic monuments in that area. So they think it may have been some type of diplomatic gift. Maybe boosting the sacredness of Stonehenge? I don't know. But now they say, wait a minute, this altar stone didn't come from Orkney. There was a new study separately from the one done last month, and some of the same researchers were involved. They say they found this altar stone is markedly different from those used in other circles, like the stones of Stennis and the ring of Brodgar. And through X-ray diffraction, microscopy, various spectroscopy techniques, and heavy mineral analysis of both the altar stone and the 12 Stonehenge stones, they say they found no match to the stones at Orkney. So they think it was not sourced from there. Everyone said, let's try Orkney first. It's going to be Orkney. And it wasn't. So where was it? They don't know. But they say it's thrilling to know the chemical analysis and dating work is slowly unlocking this mystery. So they've at least ruled something out. I love a good message in a bottle. Here's a good message in a bottle. think I have this one. There it is. Yeah. This is a story about a kid who had a little message, a third grader, tossed that message in a bottle, and it was recently found. A visitor to the Georgia Islands found this message. This Florida woman, it was her birthday, and she said a wish came true when she found a message in a bottle while visiting a barrier island in Georgia. Her name is Rebecca. She's from Jacksonville, Florida. She said she and her boyfriend took a camping trip to the Cumberland Island National Seashore to celebrate her September 3rd birthday. They were walking around the shoreline, and she shared her birthday wish. She said, I was talking to my boyfriend, and she said, you know, it would be so cool. I have never found a message in a bottle. She said we were laughing about it because it seems like such an antiquated thing. Does that even exist anymore? Well, here on this show, we know it does. 10 minutes later, no joke, she finds a message in a bottle. She said, I was stunned. I know it might sound silly now, but she said I had said I wanted to do it. It was my birthday trip, and I was like, this is a dream come true. The glass bottle was sealed with a cork, and it contained a note dated about a month ago, August 4th of 2024, just 1 month before it was discovered. The notes inside said, Hi everyone, I am a girl. I love the sea, so I thought I could write a message. Love, Parker. From Charleston, South Carolina. So this woman, Rebecca, posts a note on Facebook trying to find the sender. She said, I would love to tell Parker I am also a girl who loves the sea, and this is the best birthday present. Parker's mom was alerted to the post, showed it to her 8-year-old daughter, and they thought that was the coolest thing. She had launched the bottle while she was riding in their family's boat in Charleston Harbor. She's she's third grader. And what's really interesting is Rebecca is a third grade science teacher, and she said Parker has inspired her to assign her students to write their own message in a bottle style letters as well. Kind of a cool story. I love that. She said, I want to find a message, and 10 minutes later, it's like she manifested it to herself. Very, very cool. All right, I haven't been to the chat for a few, so I'm going back in to take a look. Wes says, we launched helium balloons in 5th grade with pre-stamped postcards to see if they came back. I mean, now we know that's bad for the environment, but back then, kind of a cool thing to do. Did they come back? I don't know. Maud sent one. You sent a message in a bottle? What did it say, Maud? What did you write? Come on and tell me. You don't have to use your camera. I'm putting the link in the chat. Tell me what you wrote. Message in a bottle. I love that. What is that? Who sings that song? Message in a bottle. I forget who sings it. Josh says the Aztecs flew it over with big hot air balloons, something, or the aliens. Yes, talking about the Stonehenge thing, probably. Doug says, I don't think we'll ever understand the mysterious nature of Stonehenge. It boggles the mind. At some point, a ton of people had to push for years at a time. That sounds worse than childbirth. I'm telling you. Maud said, get me off this island. That's funny. Oh, that was Sting. Yes, thank you. The Police. I appreciate it. You guys know your music. Nice. All right. Well, if you pop in, I'll see you, if you want to tell me your message in the bottle story. But now let's go to the lotto of the day. This one happened in Maryland, and this man has his love of carbohydrates to thank. He was jonesing for some potato wedges. He's from South Baltimore. He told the folks at the Maryland Lottery he had a really big craving for Royal Farms potato wedges. I've never had any, but now I'm interested. So he goes to the store on German Hill Road to order his potato wedges. He said he was eating them when he felt the urge to buy a lottery ticket. He said, I had a $20 bill, so I decided on a Ravens times 10 ticket and Money Rush game. He said something about that Money Rush ticket just caught his eye. I looked at it, he said, but I wasn't paying full attention to it. Then, he said, I thought, what did I just see? And I looked at it a second time. So the player hands the ticket to a store clerk who confirms It's a $50,000 winner. He said, I can't cash that here, the clerk said. The winner said his prize money will go toward paying down bills, buying a new car, and saving some for retirement as well. And look, his craving for the potato wedges paid off. Gotta love it. The Boeing Starliner is back on Earth without its astronauts aboard. They couldn't because there was some type of helium leak. They didn't know whether it was safe for the astronauts to come back. They're still back on the International Space Station. But the Boeing Starliner capsule landed on Earth empty. And that's, good, I guess you could say, because of the questions. The spacecraft was running on autopilot because there was no one aboard. It parachuted into the New Mexico desert 6 hours after it set out. The touchdown drew cheers from Boeing's mission control. NASA said it was just too risky for Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams to get back into that spacecraft. So they're going to be on the International Space Station now until February, which is a lot longer than they had planned on, and they'll be brought home by a SpaceX vehicle. They had issues even before it left the space station. Multiple thruster failures, propulsion system helium leaks, so it just wasn't safe. The extensive thruster tests in space were carried out in space and on the ground. Boeing thought it could safely bring the astronauts back, but NASA said, no, we're just going to leave them up there for now. So, but it's back. It did make it back. And so I guess, would they have been safe to come home? Perhaps. The Starliner will be now transported back to NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where they're going to analyze exactly what went wrong with this thing. NASA says they're committed to having 2 competing U.S. companies transporting astronauts. At this point, it looks like SpaceX and Boeing, that will take turns launching crews, one a year per company, until the space station is abandoned in 2030, right before it re-enters in a fiery display. So it doesn't give Boeing a lot of time, but they're gonna keep moving forward with their Starliner. That's what we know. Would you get on one? If you were an astronaut, would you be like, yeah, sure, put me aboard the Boeing vehicle? I don't necessarily know if that's where you want to go. Huge thank you to Doug, who throws down a $5 super sticker. Appreciate that. Thank you for the contribution. The PayPal link is in the show description and also in the About tab of the after party here on YouTube. So appreciate it. Mama Day 3 Boy says, I've never won anything in my life. Josh says, a message in a bottle sounds kind of nice. B.A. Ware wants to know if they put the 2 astronauts on milk cartons yet. No, we know where they are. It'll just take a while to get them. Walter says, I wouldn't trust Boeing to put my IKEA chair together. Yikes. Yeah, I think, I don't have a lot of love for Elon Musk, but I think I would probably rather go on the SpaceX than the Boeing, if I was going at all. Eric said, I once misheard lyrics where someone misheard it as message in a parlor, and now I can't unhear that. I'm sure I sing things incorrectly all the time. You know, what you hear versus what it is. Let's go to this story. It's about a car called Lucid. This is an electric vehicle, and they're making quite the advance, you could say, in technology. They're reinventing the electric motor by making it really, really small. I have to take my headphones off. Sorry. Okay, reapplication. The car, they say, is the car maker, Lucid, and I've never seen one of these on the road. So I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of Elon Musk and SpaceX and Tesla and all of these companies, my sister has a Tesla. And she said she's seen people that have this bumper sticker that says, I bought it before I realized I really don't like Elon Musk, or something like that. It was kind of funny. So maybe these Lucids will become more popular They're trying to have an electric vehicle that can exceed 500 miles in range. They haven't quite achieved that yet. But the Lucid CEO is suggesting that this brand of vehicle is ahead when it comes to its competitors in regards to electric vehicle efficiency. Is it true? We don't know. But what they are doing is partnering with supercar maker Aston Martin. And they're launching the first Lucid-powered electric vehicle in 2025. They say this is a brilliant partnership, one legacy, one newcomer. They're calling themselves the Wonder Twins, to create this high horsepower dynamo. An all-electric SUV, the Gravity, from Lucid, is expected to be available for purchase later this year. But one of the things they're doing is using a high-strength cast aluminum, but also having a heavier emphasis on aerodynamics and miniaturization of powertrain components as well. Lucid, by the way, they're headquartered here in the Bay Area in the Silicon Valley. They started as an electric vehicle battery and powertrain builder, and now they're making these cars, electric vehicle manufacturing. They have a base model called the Lucid Air Pure, starts at about $70,000. So, yeah, not something I probably could afford at this time. But they also have another one at the top of their range. It's called the Lucid Air Sapphire, and it gets its power from 3 electric motors. It's $250,000. Sorry, $249,000. Close enough, right? Kind of interesting. But now they're trying to make this electric vehicle motor even smaller and expand the efficiency of the electric motor in a way they say is more cost effective. They're basically reinventing the electric motor. Very advanced mathematics being used to do this. They say they're controlling the algorithms with advanced math, combining that with a motor which is extraordinarily electromagnetically efficient, thermodynamically efficient, and mechanically capable. They say they've reimagined the transmission, the gears, and as a consequence, they have the fastest charging car in the world. Lucid seems, if you believe the CEO, like it may be on the way up. So we'll see how they sell, how it goes. It's an interesting story about this area. For a long time, scientists, anthropologists have been trying to figure out exactly when humans and Neanderthals passed with each other, hooked up with each other, right? Connected with each other in this world. And we know that our species interbred with each other. But where and when and how did this occurrence come about? There's a new piece of research. Scientists took a very close look at the geographical distribution of both species in Southwest Asia and Southeast Europe, right around the time we know that they hooked up during the late Pleistocene era. And what the researchers found was a clear location where our two species overlapped with each other and likely interbred. And it's here in the Zagros Mountains, which is a long mountain range on the Persian Plateau, which stretches across what's modern day at the border of Iran, northern Iraq, and southeastern Turkey. That's where we hooked up and did the nasty with each other. The Zagros Mountains, they say, would have been an ideal place for our two species to have a so-called rendezvous. This is a diverse range of biodiversity in this area, the topography capable of supporting large, stable human populations. Plus, they say it could have welcomed humans from other parts of the planet during the Pleistocene climactic shifts, acting as something of a corridor connecting the cooler Palearctic realm with the warmer Afrotropical realm. And they say the location lines up with archaeological records and genetic evidence. The Zagros Mountains, a region rich in archaeological sites, containing the remains of both Neanderthals and prehistoric Homo sapiens. So that's where it is. That's what happened. Maybe it happened in a certain cave as well. The Shanidar Cave in the Kurdistan region of northern Iraq. It holds the best preserved Neanderthal skeleton ever unearthed. It's also the location of the famous flower burial, a Neanderthal skeleton that appears to have been scattered with plant pollen. Whether or not the placement of the flowers was intentional, still a matter of debate. Around the same time that Neanderthals were in this region, evidence shows the Persian plateau served as an important hub for Homo sapiens as they migrated out of Africa. So there are several strands of evidence suggesting the Zagros Mountains sat at the crossroads between Europe, Asia, and Africa, and this may well have been the place where different human species would run into each other around the time that we know that interbreeding took place. I guess you could call it, I don't know, Sex Mountain? What's happening up there? Nobody knows. Here's a Neanderthal and a Homo sapien. I don't know. I just like the comparison. But here's where it all shook out. Look at that. We talk about this Google map. Ever surf Google Maps to look at what your house looks like on Google Maps, or where you grew up, what the house looks like now, or whatever? This man was browsing on Google Maps. He was going on a camping trip in Quebec when he noticed this, what he said was a rare and unusual structure. I would look at this and I would just see green and gray and brown and a map. Sorry, I had to take a sip of my Coachella Valley vanilla iced tea. But he looked at it and he's like, hey, look at this circular area here. That is of interest. This man, his name is Joel. There's an umlaut over the E. Joel Lapointe. He stumbled across this unusual, roughly spherical structure about 9 miles or so from the surrounding Marsal Lake in Quebec. So he contacts a geophysicist at the Center for Research in Geosciences and Environment in France to help identify what is it that he's looking at here on this map. And if they think it's an asteroid impact, that's what he thinks that they found. They took a really close look at this area, and they believe the ring of small mountains surrounding this lake may have previously been miscategorized. They think that this formation, which was interpreted as a volcanoclastic diatreme formation called the Marsal Breccia, is actually more in agreement with a crater floor classed poor melt rock, which they think may have been an asteroid impact. The area, they say, shows no signs of gravity anomaly, where gravity is stronger or weaker than the expected value, based on the mass they believe is in that area. It's interesting. They can't confirm it, but they say the signs look promising that Mr. Lapointe stumbled across an ancient impact event while just idly browsing the Google map. They were looking at samples taken from this site. They identified silicates and abundant magnetite sulfides and zircons, which are all promising indications of impact melt rock. So based on the levels of erosion, they estimate the impact could have taken place between 450 and 38 million years ago. That's a pretty wide range. They say based on the already available preliminary evidence, Lake Marsal seems to be a serious candidate to become the 11th confirmed impact structure from Quebec. That the impact origin may be gained from the available sampling, or else they'll wait for future dedicated expeditions there. They hope to assess it soon, to get further evidence of some type of impact event. And they presented a paper on this at the Meteorological Society 2024. So there you go. 1 minute, you're looking for a camping site near Lake Marcel. The next minute, you found evidence of an asteroid impact in this area. How cool is that? Maybe we should all take a closer look at Google Earth, at Google Planet, Google Earth, whatever it's called, right? Interesting. All right, going back to the chat. See what you guys have to say. Quebec. You say Quebec. Did I say it wrong? I said Quebec. Quebec. All right. I used to say Quebec, but now I know that's not how they say it there. So I changed my ways. Marseille. Oh, Marseille? It's an L and not a Y. So I said Marcel. But hey, you sound like you know what you're talking about. So I'll go with you. Kay in Santa Rosa said there's someone that has a Lucid driving around Sonoma. That would be the place for it in the town of Sonoma. Absolutely. Gordon has named Zagros Interbreeding Mountain. I like it. Beautiful. Okay. Wes says, now I feel guilty. I just did to MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, what Trump does to all women. Ooh, I didn't see how you've offended Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I don't know. I tend not to feel too bad for her because every time she opens her mouth, she's offended someone else. So, I mean, I appreciate your feeling guilty, but I don't think we need to feel guilty where it comes to her. Huge thank you to Wes for the $5 super sticker. Huge thank you to Doug for the $5 super sticker as well. Thank you for being here today. I have, let's see, are we at 2,300? Nope, still at 2,299. If you know someone who wants to subscribe, they could make After Party Live history by becoming 2,300 exactly. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree. Deidre, she's foul. So we don't feel bad for her. No. Walter is a Google Earth looker, but he's yet to find anything that interesting. Cool. I didn't know this, Rev, did we? Oh no. James Earl Jones has passed away? Yes, at the age of 93. Oh no. Oh, the actor's rep says he passed away at his home in upstate New York, surrounded by family members, widely respected for his decades-long career, and very well known for his voice. You have a picture of him. Thank you for letting me know that. How sad is this? I have a picture to share with you, but whoa, what a loss for the world. What's interesting about that is that I read that we have his voice so recorded. Oops, sorry, there it is. His voice is so recorded that we'll be able to recreate it. And his, I guess, heirs will benefit from whatever happens with that. Yeah. So maybe, we'll still hear him, even if it won't really be him. How sad is that? James Earl Jones passing away today at the age of 93. I hate to end on a sad note, but that's what we've got. So we'll go off into Monday, knowing that tomorrow is the big debate. I think everyone's just kind of waiting on pins and needles to see what'll happen with that. The Mark Thompson Show tomorrow at 11 a.m. brings David K. Johnston. We'll talk about that and a lot of other things. Jefferson Graham will be on the show as well. And then tomorrow is Travel Tuesday. So we'll take a virtual trip together to relax ahead of the debate, get your blood pressure down. It's all going to be good. Looking at another contribution from Luis. Oh, $5 for the Julia Travel Fund. He test drove the Lucid. It drove better than a Tesla or a Polestar. I felt like I was going 90, felt like 50. Wow. The interior is beautifully handcrafted as well. Ooh, that sounds really nice. Well, maybe if they make it even more efficient, it'll be more attractive to buy one. And I think there may be some new incentives coming as well for Californians to buy electric vehicles. So, possible. Regarding James Earl Jones, Ms. Organic says he was pretty awesome to listen to. Maud says he's in the cosmos forever now. Susan says he was a legend. Yeah, he absolutely was a legend. Yeah. All right, that's the show for today. Please go out there and make it a really good day. And I will see you right back here tomorrow on YouTube. But for now, thank you, everyone.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
I totally agree, Elise.